Hi guys, I'm Smita and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things AI and machine learning related. If you guys have noticed, I've taken quite a long break from making videos and you might be wondering what I've been up to. So I've actually been working on a really huge dream project of mine, and the last couple of weeks has just been occupied with finding the right group of amazing people to help build this project with me. So as time goes on, I will definitely be releasing a lot more details, and as the launch date nears, I'll definitely be dropping a lot more information about this amazing project, which is not only going to play a huge part in my life, but I'm actually sure that it's going to play a huge part in your lives as well. That being said, the 100 days of ML challenge is definitely going to carry on, and without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. So guys, let's start off with where we left off in the last tutorial, and we were looking at a really interesting data set from Kaggle about salary levels within data science and tech. And we were actually planning on doing linear regression on it. So let's get started. You guys can find the link to this Google Colab in the description box below. It will give you a link to a GitHub where you can go ahead and actually open this file in Colab. Once you've done that, you would need to actually upload this data file, this CSV file, by downloading it off Kaggle. If you haven't already done so, I'll also be linking this dataset in the description box below. Go ahead and download this, and then once you're on the Google Colab file, you can actually upload it by clicking here and then selecting the dataset that you want, and it will appear here. So this is what we have done so far. We have read the dataset and we have printed it, and there was a lot of different columns. There were in fact 29 different columns with 29 different types of data from company, years of experience, etc. But what we've actually decided to do is just take 5 different variables, which was the company name, total yearly compensation, years of experience, years at company, and base salary. So we extracted that from the original data frame and stored it into salary df. Now, this is where the fun part actually starts, and this is where we're actually going to be doing linear regression. What we want to do is actually look at years of experience, years at company, and base salary. And from these 3 different types of data, we want to predict total yearly compensation. So if you think about it, this is our features. These 3 are our features, and total yearly compensation is our label. So let's actually write this in mathematical terms, which is much more easier to understand. So our y variable, which is what we're trying to predict, is total yearly compensation. And our x variable, our x1 variable, is years of experience. And our x2 variable is years at company. And our x3 variable is base salary. So if we were to put this all together into a very simple linear regression equation, it would look something like this. Y equals to W1 x1 plus W2 x2 plus W3 x3 plus B, which is our bias. And if we were to actually write this in matrix format, it would look like this. The B is actually included inside of this. If we were to look at the transpose of X, it would look like this. X1, X2, X3, and 1. And if you were to look at the transpose of the W matrix, it would look like this. W1, W2, W3, and B. So it's really helpful to look at this very basic linear regression formula in simple mathematical format as well as matrix format. Below are some functions that we are going to be using. You guys don't really have to worry about it that much, but the first function is a function which we are going to be using to calculate root mean square error. So it's taking in two parameters, which is targets and predictions. And all it's doing is it's taking the square of the predictions and targets and finding the square root, which is how you calculate root mean square error. The next function helps us to calculate the W matrix, which is the weight matrix. So it takes in the X train and Y train matrix that we're going to be creating in just a second, and it actually returns the W matrix. The math behind this is pretty simple. It's making use of the least square solution. Although the notation here in this document is slightly different, B here is actually referring to W. So W is equals to X transpose multiplied by X, and taking the inverse of that and multiplying that with X transpose and Y. So that's essentially what we are doing here in order to get our W matrix. So now let's actually go ahead and create our training and testing data sets from the salary DF. So currently salary DF it includes all 5 of these columns, and it includes over 60,000 different rows. But we want to split this into a training and a testing data set. So we're going to put xtrain is equal to salary DF. So salary DF is a data frame, and since we want to actually do slicing, meaning that we want to get different slices of data from this data set, we're going to be making use of the iloc method, and we will be saying semicolon and then 50,000. So what this does is it takes the first 50,000 rows, and since we want to get years of experience, years at company, and base salary, which is actually the second, third, and fourth column, we're gonna do 2 and semicolon. Next up, we're gonna be creating our Y-train data frame. So our Y-train data frame is simply going to be the total yearly compensation column, but only for the first 50,000 values. So salary df dot iloc, and since we only want this column, it's going to be number 1. Next up is our X testing dataset. So testing dataset for X values, and that will be salary df dot iloc. And now we want all the values starting from value number 50,000. So we're just going to put 50,000 and then semicolon, and the same column values as xtrain. And Y test is going to be salary df dot iloc. And since this is the Y value, we're only going to take the first column. So in order to actually insert this new column of B values, we're going to be making use of the insert function. So xtrain dot insert. And we have to specify which position we want to insert this new column. So since it's going to be at the last position, which is the third index position, so loc equals to 3 and column is equals to column name, which we're going to put B, and value is simply equals to 1. And we're going to repeat this for the X test matrix as well. Next up, let's actually calculate the W matrix making use of our xtrain and ytrain values. So W equals to calculate weights, and we're going to pass our xtrain matrix and ytrain matrix. Let's calculate our training error now. And in order to calculate our training error, we're actually going to be finding out what is our y value predictions on our training data set, making use of this W matrix that we have calculated. So we're going to create a new variable, y train predict equals to x train dot w, and our train error is going to be, we're going to call our RMSE function, and we're going to pass the y train matrix as the first variable because that's the target, and then y train prediction as the second variable, and we'll be printing our training error. Next, we'll calculate our testing error. Now we're going to be calculating the error on datasets that it hasn't seen before, so that we have not calculated on before. We haven't trained this on the testing dataset, so now we're going to calculate that. So y test prediction is equals to x test dot product w, test error is equals to RMSE y test and y test predict, and we will print the testing error. So go ahead and run this. So once we go ahead and run this, we get our training error and testing error. Now these seem pretty large. Obviously this model is not perfect. It's a very, very basic model. We haven't even looked at like polynomial aspects. So for example, we could have taken x squared or x cubed, etc. of a lot of these variables. So this is just a very basic model. One of the many reasons that there's such a high error is simply because if you look at our data sets, the base salary in a lot of these situations is actually 0. So that could indicate why there's such a large discrepancy. So why don't we actually test out this new equation with completely random values. So we know that x1 is years of experience, x2 is years at company, and then base salary. So let's get a new predict. New predict is equals to numpy.array, and the first thing that we're going to put is years of experience. So for example, let's say a person that you're planning on hiring has 5 years of experience, and the second value that we need to input is years at company. So let's say they have 3 years of experience at a particular company, and let's say their base salary is 80,000, and the last value is our b value, so we're going to leave that as 1 with our dot product with w, and we're going to print out our new predict. So when we run this, we get our predicted salary, which is the $135,000. We get our total yearly compensation. So guys, this was a very simple way of doing linear regression from scratch without making use of a lot of the different helpful libraries such as scikit-learn, etc. So this is a very simple way of doing it. In our next video, we are going to be looking at polynomial linear regression, where we'll be making use of different powers such as maybe a cube or square, etc., and calculating the error rates and understanding which polynomial might fit this data set the best possible way. Hope this video was very easy to follow along. It's okay if you guys might not be able to understand the math behind it. I'll be leaving a bunch of links in the description box below which can help you understand a lot of the math concepts involved in linear regression, so be sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next video.